Hayley Mills truly hated him more than anyone. Hayley Mills was born, Hayley Catherine Rose, Vivian Mills, on April 18, 1946, in London, England. Hayley Catherine Rose. Vivian Mills was quite literally born into the world of entertainment. She was the daughter of renowned British actor Sir John Mills, a pillar of British cinema, and playwright and novelist Mary Hayley Bell, whose creativity and literary sensibilities helped shape Hayley's early development. Her upbringing in a family immersed in the arts laid the foundation for what would become an extraordinary career in film and television. Hayley's path to stardom began almost serendipitously. At just 12 years old, she was discovered by director J. Lee Thompson while attending boarding school, and soon found herself cast in the role of Gilly in the 1959 British crime drama Tiger Bay. Her nuanced performance alongside her real-life father was met with critical acclaim, signaling the arrival of a fresh new talent. This breakout role not only won her a BAFTA award for Most Promising Newcomer, but also caught the attention of Walt Disney himself, who would soon offer her a starring role in what would become a timeless classic. In 1960, Hayley Mills made an indelible mark in cinematic history by starring as Pollyanna, the ever-optimistic orphan girl, in Disney's adaptation of Pollyanna. Her radiant performance earned her the very first Academy Juvenile Award, making her one of the youngest actors ever to receive an Oscar. Her embodiment of the wide-eyed, warm-hearted character endeared her to audiences of all ages and made her a household name almost overnight. Pollyanna's legacy of positivity and resilience became forever associated with Hayley's real-life personality, gracious, kind, and unwavering in the face of life's challenges. Following the massive success of Pollyanna, Hayley Mills quickly became the face of Disney's live-action films in the early 1960s. She starred in a series of beloved films including The Parent Trap, 1961, in which she famously portrayed twin sisters Susan and Sharon using innovative split-screen techniques. Her ability to create two distinctly different characters was nothing short of extraordinary for someone still in her early teens. The film became an instant favorite and has since remained a family classic for generations. Throughout the early to mid-1960s, Mills starred in a string of hits, including In Search of the Castaways, 1962, Summer Magic, 1963, The Moon Spinners, 1964, and That Darn Cat, 1965, solidifying her as the reigning Disney princess of her time. Her performances were always noted for their naturalism, effervescent charm, and emotional depth, which set her apart from many of her contemporaries. While many child stars struggled with transitioning to adult roles, Mills handled the pressures of fame with dignity and grace, even as she sought to evolve beyond her early image. However, Mills sought to evolve beyond the wholesome Disney image. As she matured, she took on more complex and challenging roles in films such as The Trouble with Angels, 1966, in which she played a mischievous Catholic schoolgirl opposite Rosalind Russell, and Twisted Nerve, 1968, a psychological thriller that marked a bold shift in her acting repertoire. These roles demonstrated her commitment to growing as an actress and exploring her range beyond the confines of her earlier family-oriented work. By the late 1960s and into the 1970s, Hayley bravely stepped away from the Disney studio system to pursue more mature and complex roles. In The Family Way, 1966, she shocked audiences by taking on her first adult role in a more serious, dramatic setting. Her performance demonstrated her growth as an actress and her desire to expand her creative horizons. She continued to take on diverse roles in theater, television, and film, proving she was not just a child star, but a versatile and seasoned performer in her own right. Hayley also faced health challenges, including a courageous battle with breast cancer in the late 2000s, which she ultimately overcame with strength and optimism, qualities that have always defined her, both on screen and off. Her resilience in the face of adversity only deepened the admiration and love her fans have held for her over the decades. In the decades that followed, Mills successfully transitioned into stage and television work, embracing a wide variety of roles that showcased her enduring talent. She starred in British series such as Wild at Heart, 2007 to 2012, which brought her acclaim from a new generation of fans and continued to appear in West End productions, demonstrating her versatility and commitment to live performance. Her longevity in the entertainment industry stands as a testament to her work ethic, resilience, and love for her craft. In addition to her film and stage work, Hayley Mills has authored an acclaimed memoir titled Forever Young, in which she reflects on her journey through stardom, her family's legacy, and her personal evolution. The memoir offers a thoughtful, honest, and often humorous look at the life of someone who grew up in the public eye, yet always strove to remain grounded. In 1966, during the production of the British film The Family Way, Hayley Mills, who had just turned 20 years old and was transitioning from her image as a child star to more mature, dramatic roles, met the film's director, Roy Bolting. Bolting, a well-known British filmmaker and producer, was 33 years her senior at 53 years old, and part of the famous Bolting brothers filmmaking duo. Despite the considerable age difference and the potential for public scrutiny, the two developed a romantic relationship that soon became the focus of both media attention and industry gossip. Their connection deepened over time, and after several years of being together, they were married in 1971, marking the beginning of a unique and often discussed partnership in the British entertainment world. As a married couple, they led a rather cosmopolitan lifestyle and established residences in two notable locations: a flat in the fashionable Chelsea district of London, a neighborhood known for its bohemian flair and artistic culture, and the picturesque Cobstone Windmill, an iconic and historic building located in Ibstone, Buckinghamshire, in the English countryside. The windmill, which would later gain further fame as a filming location for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, served as a romantic and unconventional home for the couple. Eventually, the windmill was sold, possibly as part of their separation process. Their union produced a son, Crispian Mills, who would later go on to forge a successful career in music. Crispian became best known as the lead singer, songwriter, and guitarist for the psychedelic and raga rock band Kula Shaker, which rose to prominence in the 1990s with hits like Tatva and Hush. Through Crispian, Hayley Mills became linked to a younger generation of British pop culture and artistic expression, extending her legacy into the world of alternative rock. Despite this shared family success, the marriage between Hayley and Roy Bolting eventually unraveled, and the couple divorced in 1977 after 6 years of marriage. The reasons for their separation have often been speculated upon, but likely included the stresses of the age gap, differing life stages, and the changing dynamics of Mills's evolving career. Following her divorce, Mills continued to explore her personal life and entered a long-term relationship with actor Lee Lawson, a prominent figure in British theater and television. During their time together, Mills gave birth to her second son, Jason Lawson, in July 1976. This marked a significant period in Mills's life as she balanced motherhood with a revitalized acting career, all while maintaining a relatively low-profile domestic life. Her relationship with Lawson, though not formalized through marriage, was marked by deep companionship and creative collaboration, as both were involved in the dramatic arts. However, like her first serious relationship, this too eventually ended. Mills and Lawson amicably separated in the early 1980s, with both continuing to maintain careers in the entertainment industry. Lawson later married British supermodel Twiggy, while Mills focused increasingly on her own pursuits, both professional and personal. In the decades that followed, Hayley Mills remained active in theater, film, and television, and in 1997, a new chapter in her romantic life began when she met actor and writer Firdous Bomji. Their meeting took place under theatrical circumstances while touring together in a stage production of The King and I, in which Mills played the iconic role of Anna Leonowens, opposite Bamji's portrayal of the king. Despite the 20-year age difference, this time Mills being the senior partner, an enduring relationship blossomed between them. Bamji, known for his work in theater and literature and of Indian descent, brought a fresh and dynamic energy into Mills's life. The two shared a mutual love of storytelling, performance, and cultural exploration, which deepened their bond. Since 1997, they have maintained a strong and supportive partnership, largely avoiding the glare of the media and opting for a more private and artistically fulfilling life. As of 2023, their relationship remains intact, representing one of the most stable and long-lasting unions in Mills's life. Their partnership is often cited as a testament to the enduring nature of love and companionship, regardless of age or background. To those who fondly remember the golden charm of The Parent Trap and its heartwarming depiction of a reunited family, it may come as a shock to hear that behind the scenes, the dynamic between its stars was anything but idyllic. For Hayley Mills, who was already an international sensation by the age of 14, working with Brian Keith on the set of the 1961 Disney film would become one of the most emotionally charged and distressing experiences of her career. While audiences fell in love with Keith's rugged charisma and fatherly warmth on screen, Mills found herself grappling with a co-star she would come to regard with deep personal disdain. In her own words, she claimed she truly hated him more than anyone, a statement that echoed with years of pent-up frustration and emotional wounds that had never fully healed. The animosity between Hayley Mills and Brian Keith reportedly began almost immediately upon meeting. Mills, a classically trained young actress from a respected theatrical family, valued precision, patience, and professionalism. Keith, on the other hand, was known for his brusque manner, sardonic humor, and impatience with what he deemed childish sensitivities. While he had a deep well of talent and experience, he possessed little tolerance for what he viewed as pampered child actors. From the start, he made little effort to hide his condescension toward Hayley, often referring to her as the Golden Goose, a biting remark aimed at her status as Walt Disney's favorite starlet of the moment. To the public, they were a charming father-daughter duo on screen. Behind the camera, however, their interactions were cold, clipped, and fraught with tension. Keith frequently interrupted Mills during table reads, rolled his eyes when she asked for line clarification, and occasionally belittled her in front of crew members, allegedly mocking her British accent and mannerisms as highfalutin nonsense. These microaggressions, seemingly small to an outside observer, began to build inside the young actress like emotional shrapnel. Worse still, Mills was navigating an intense period of transition in her own life, teetering between childhood and adulthood, struggling to find her voice in a male-dominated industry that rarely allowed space for adolescent vulnerability. Keith, instead of offering guidance or mentorship, seemed to represent everything about Hollywood that repelled her. She reportedly confided to a close friend years later that she felt, "Brian took every opportunity to knock me down a peg, like he hated the idea of me being successful while still a child." There were rumors of one particular incident on set, never confirmed but frequently whispered about, in which Keith allegedly exploded in anger when Mills flubbed a line during a high-pressure scene. He slammed a chair to the floor, stormed off the set, and later blamed her for ruining the rhythm of the shoot. That moment, according to legend, marked a permanent fracture in their already strained working relationship. Though the production moved forward, a silent war simmered beneath their carefully composed performances. Despite the sunny, carefree image Disney meticulously crafted around The Parent Trap, Hayley Mills would later describe the experience as emotionally exhausting and far from the joyful escape it appeared to be. While she maintained her professionalism throughout the film's production and even during its promotional tour, the emotional toll was significant. In interviews years later, when asked about her experience working with Brian Keith, her face would stiffen slightly, her voice lowering to a cool register. She never launched into a tirade, but her choice of words, measured, bitter, restrained, revealed volumes. "He was difficult," she once said. "He made it very clear I wasn't welcome in his space." The wounds left by her time with Keith lingered long after filming ended. Even as she matured and grew into more adult roles, Mills carried with her the emotional scars of being belittled by a powerful male figure at such a formative age. While she eventually found peace in her personal life and rediscovered her love of acting, there remained one name she could never utter without a chill: Brian Keith. To her, he was not just a difficult colleague. He was a symbol of everything she hated about the industry: the arrogance, the bullying, the cold dismissal of youth and sensitivity. In private correspondence, one letter unearthed years after her autobiography was released, Mills wrote simply, "He was the one person in this industry I truly could not forgive, not for what he did, but for how small he made me feel." In that confession lies the root of her deepest grievance. Brian Keith wasn't just someone she disliked. He was, in her view, the man who made her question her worth at the height of her stardom, and that was something she never forgot.